after being selected 1 and 2 in the 1998 NFL Draft. They meet for the first time today, and many feel that by the time their careers are over, they'll be talked about in the same breath as guys like John Elway and Dan Marino. And like Elway and Dan Marino, starting as a rookie quarterback in this league, very difficult.
Well, when they drafted these two guys, everybody knew that they were going to struggle. And now that they're into the season and they are struggling, all of a sudden, everybody's impatient with their progress. What Peyton Manning brings to the Indianapolis Colts is a mature, smooth leader who's very, very level-headed emotionally. And he told us that while he is frustrated with the problems they've had, he knows that he's going to be a better quarterback when he comes through all these problems. Ryan Leaf, on the other hand, has struggled on the field as well. And he's also had a verbal war with the media. And he told us, he says, hey, I'm a stubborn, strong-willed guy, and I don't like people I don't know telling me what I can and can't do. And guess, while that attitude may sit well with some, that's exactly the type of temperament a lot of great quarterbacks in the National Football League have possessed. And today we're going to get our chance to see which of these guys takes the next step toward being the quarterback that both these teams believe they have drafted.
All right, Steve, the Colts won the toss. They have elected to receive the football. John Carney kicking off for San Diego. They come into this game with the 2-2 record, back deep. Keith Elias along with Lamont Warren for the Colts. Elias, the former Princeton star, has been getting the bulk of the returns so far this season. And the Colts 0-4 on the year, and we're underway from Indy. Elias from the goal line. And Keith Elias over the 20, the former Giant up to the 23-yard line, a return of 23 yards. And here he comes, Peyton Manning, the #1 overall selection. As you take a look at the numbers, 11 interceptions. It really stands out, and he's thrown for more yards than any other quarterback in the AFC.
And Jim Mora told us yesterday, if they want to exploit the secondary for the Chargers, they've really struggled. They've had a couple of injuries, and you can look for them to go to Marvin Harrison right off the bat. They're going to go deep right off the first play right here to Marvin Harrison to see if they can open it up in the first quarter.
Marvin Harrison lines up on the near side, number 88. Guarded by Terrence Shaw. Out of the offset eye, Dilger in motion. Here's the play action. Harrison got a step downfield. Oh, he dropped it. Marvin Harrison wide open. And Jim Mora told us what the play was going to be earlier this week.
You know,
and that's what happened.
That is football for you. You know, you call this, you get the guts to call it and pull the trigger on the opening play from scrimmage. Marvin Harrison comes open, Peyton Manning throws him to the wide side of the field, gets him open, and he just drops the football.
And Peyton's reaction, that's happened a lot to him.
That is a huge...
This year so far, a lot of drop passes by the receivers for the Indianapolis Colts. Makes it second down and 10 from the 23. Marshall Faulk, the lone setback. Here's Faulk running straight ahead, and Marshall Faulk wrapped up by Marco Coleman. No gain on the play. Offensively for the Indianapolis Colts, their line, 2 second-year players, 1 first-year guy. Glenn Meadows, second year. McKinney, first year, along with Lewinberg. And the backs and receivers, Jerome Pathan, a rookie out of Washington. They like him at wide receiver. And Greg Ironhead Hayward got into camp on Wednesday. He is in the starting lineup on Sunday. Third down and 11 from the 22. Manning out of the shotgun. Manning, far side, incomplete. The ball underthrown. Intended for Lamont Warren.
He got a little pressure that time and couldn't step into the throw. He had Lamont Warren wide open right in the flat where he wanted him, but because of the pressure in his face, he had to throw the ball while retreating, and he couldn't get enough on it.
But Marvin Harrison dropping the first play from scrimmage for the Colts, and he had a lot of green in front of him. That was almost a short touchdown. And that brings on the punting unit. Laterio Rashal back deep for San Diego. Chris Gardocki standing in his own 7-yard line. Left-footed punter, high spiraling kick. Rashal at the 28. And Laterio Rashal up to the 32-yard line. Special tackle, team tackle made by Chris Hetherington. A 50-yard punt and 8-yard return. Ryan Leaf, 9 turnovers in the last 2 weeks, a 9.63 quarterback rating. Now keep in mind, Steve Young and Randall Cunningham Their quarterback ratings, 115. So Leaf, he's got a long way to go.
It's a long season, but I don't know if he's going to get back up to a 115 rating by the end of it. What you can expect here today is Ryan Leaf turning around and handing the ball off to number 20, Natron Means. They are going to do that an awful lot today. This Colts defense has allowed 485 yards in rushing in the last 2 weeks.
Worst against the rush in the NFL. First down for San Diego from the 39. Leaf passing on first down. This is Bryant still with the catch at the 44-yard line.
They're not listening to us, Gus.
Tyrone Poole with the tackle. Offensively for San Diego, left side of that line totally revamped. John Jackson over from Pittsburgh, Taylor from Green Bay, Fortin from Atlanta, along with McKenzie and Parker. And the backs and receivers. Natron Means last week, only 11 carries. They got down early to the Giants 21-0 and were forced to throw the football. Second down and 3 from the 46. Here's Natron Means, and he is stood up at the line of scrimmage. Tony McCoy gets to him first and drives him backwards. The gang tackling Colts defense.
Rusty Tillman, the defensive coordinator,
Not a lot of stars on this defense. Tony McCoy, Ellis Johnson, though. Great game last week against New Orleans. They're the tackles. And the linebackers, Harrod, veteran, along with Alexander and Morrison. And in the secondary, the corners are very good. Jeff Burris, Tyrone Poole, Blackman, and Belser are the safeties. Makes it third down and 2 from the 47. They need to get to the 49-yard line. Ryan Leaf standing in the pocket, and it's picked up. Elijah Alexander with the interception, and he gets out of bounds at the 45. So the turnovers continue for Ryan Leaf.
If you talk to any defensive backs in the National Football League, when they're playing against a young quarterback, if you can just get a little pressure, maybe you can get him to throw it up for grabs. You'll see here as Elijah Alexander just falls back in. Ryan Leaf never sees him. And that's a throw over the middle, and that is why both of these teams have struggled offensively. It's just because of the turnovers.
Space. He gets the interception in his 7th year. And Ryan Leaf on the other side, dejected. Interception number 9 on the season. First down and 10 from the 44. And this is Falk. Big opening for Marshall Falk. Gets to the 35-yard line. Junior Seau with the tackle, but it's a gain of 9 yards.
We'll take one more look at the interception. You'll see Freddie Jones here. He'll come out and come across. He'll just come out and then cut underneath as the ball is thrown. Ryan Leaf acts as if he never sees him. That is textbook linebacker play.
Remember last week as Ryan Leaf talks to his quarterbacks coach, June Jones, Leaf pulled in the 3rd quarter against the Giants. Inside handoff, Ironhead Hayward picks up the first down.
His first carry is a Colt.
So Ironhead signed on Wednesday, starting on Sunday, and what a colorful young man. And as Steve Tasker told us during our pregame show, he has traveled far to end up in Indianapolis playing for Jim Mora, his former coach.
And they didn't get along well while they were in New Orleans, and yet when he talked to him on the phone, both guys realized that they had both changed over the years of an NFL career.
First down from the 31 for the Colts, 2nd offensive drive of the game. Marshall Falk slicing through the line of scrimmage, and he gets to the 28. John Perella with the hit. Marshall Falk leads the NFL in yards from scrimmage. And so far this season, Steve, the holes haven't been there when it comes to running the ball, but they have them doing other things to account for 40% of the offense.
That's true, and because of those holes not being there, that's why they brought Craig Ironhead Hayward in, and on that play he had a great lead block. This opens up their running game to get them more flexible with the lead plays, with the back leading one back into the hole.
2nd down and 7. Manning throwing, steps up in the pocket, looking for running room, and slides down at the 27. Defensively for San Diego, Fuller, Hand, Perella, and Marco Coleman is the right end. The linebackers, Junior Seau, 7-time Pro Bowler, Kirk Gouveia, good in the middle, and Lou Bush, And in the secondary, riddled with injuries, Charles Dimmery starts at one corner, Shaw at the other. Rodney Harrison and Greg Jackson starts for Michael Dumas at the free safety spot.
Rodney Harrison and that guy right there are the big play guys for this Charger defense. They're the guys that lead it and make all the big plays and are the emotional leaders of it.
3rd down and 6 from the 27. Here comes the blitz. Manning scrambles out of the pocket, throws on the run, and it's caught. Flag on the play. Marvin Harrison in front of Shaw, but there is a flag. And it's pass interference against San Diego. So they decline the penalty, and the Colts keep the chains moving and pick up a 1st down.
You'll see here right at the top of the route, right when Marvin Harrison, number 88, gets to the top of his route, Shaw's got his hands all over him, and you see there he pulls his jersey, had his hands on him the entire way down the field, and that is not allowed.
1st down from the 16 for the Colts. Harrison, the motion man. Marshall Faulk trying to bounce it outside and is tripped up. Curtin Govea in the middle, who missed 9 games with a neck injury last year. Won a Super Bowl with the Skins in '87 and '91, and he is the center of attention on this defense. Without him, they have struggled at times, especially last season.
Yeah, last season, his absence caused him to shuffle not just his position, but 3 other positions in the linebackers. They moved everybody around, and his presence has really helped them to be a really good run defense team this year.
13th year out of BYU. They lost 3. 2nd down, 13. Harrison, the motion man once again. They fake the reverse. Manning wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Marshall Faulk. 19 yards. And Marshall Faulk, he said to us yesterday, he really likes how they implemented short passing routes for him out of the backfield. In the past, they used to line him up as a wide receiver.
Yeah, he used to be split out as a wide receiver because he was such a good receiver, and he just likes his new role of coming out of the backfield.
And they're going to field. Here's Gilbert in the end zone. They got it.
They even caught us off guard on that when they lined up and quick snap. The referees had hardly backed away from the line of scrimmage. I think they caught the San Diego Chargers off guard as well.
So the Colts, a quick start for them. They lead it 8-0 in the 1st quarter. Off to a speedy start, Peyton Manning and the Colts up 8-0. Some trickery on the extra point as they got 2.
Very right off the bat coming out, just using the momentum from turnover to their advantage, coming out quick snapping on the conversion.
So Chris Gardocki sends it away. And back deep. Terrell Fletcher. And Fletcher up to the 15. Rico Clark with the tackle, along with McElroy.
Here's a kind of a
15-yard return.
Here's kind of a trick play on that conversion that they ran. You'll see here, there's the center, here's the kicker, and the center will push the ball out and just snap it out wide, and they'll try and just push it in here to this traffic and get the 2-point conversion. Watch as he snaps it out across this formation and just pushes it in. And here's the touchdown. You'll see all the motion go this way, the defense will go this way, and everybody just loses Marshall Faulk. And that's the touchdown.
1st down from the 15 for San Diego. Ryan Leaf passing, and this one incomplete. Webster Slaughter, closest man of the football, and Ryan Leaf looks a little shaky to start this one.
You wonder how much that interception affected him, because he did not look confident throwing that football out there. He's trying to aim it, wasn't sure which guy. There were 2 guys out there. Which guy is he throwing to? He just didn't seem sure on that play.
Kevin Gilbride's 2nd year as the head coach in San Diego. His team 2-2, and with the rookie quarterback, he said he's getting grayer by the minute. 2nd down and 10. Atron Means, and he gained a couple. In on the play, Elijah Alexander, who came up with the interception. So Natron Means, second in the AFC in rushing, 365 yards. Spent the last 2 years in Jacksonville. Prior to that, 3 years in San Diego. And he was on the team that advanced to the Super Bowl. Third down and 6 from the 19. Leaf out of the shotgun. Ryan Leaf near side caught. This is Fletcher with the reception. Alexander with the tackle. Gain of 13 yards and a first down for San Diego. And maybe that'll calm him down a little bit.
These are two confident quarterbacks, and Ryan Leaf has got a lot of confidence. If he has a little success, this is the kind of thing that will snowball. You'll see Fletcher come out of the backfield right here, and as Ryan Leaf looks around, scans the field, he'll go right over to Fletcher. Good route by Fletcher, getting open. That's a nice, easy route for quarterback to complete, and a good third down conversion.
His 4th year out of Wisconsin, Terrell Fletcher. Here's Leaf again, passing, play action in trouble. Steps up, Ryan Leaf looking, and Leaf tripped up at the 32-yard line. Bernard Whittington got to him first, the 5th-year man out of Indiana.
You start to see a little bit, it's sinking in on Ryan Leaf. He had thoughts about slinging that ball up downfield. You could see his wheels turning in his mind, but he thought, you know what? I've learned my lesson. I'm going to take it, and that's not bad. It's 2nd and 10 instead of throwing the ball up for an interception or maybe even taking the sack. Getting back to the line of scrimmage is a positive play in that situation.
Makes it 2nd down and 10 from the 32 for the Chargers. Here comes the blitz. Handoff, Natron Means cuts it back in, nowhere to go. Natron Means stopped by Elijah Alexander. Also in on the play, Tony McCoy.
You'll see here's they line up. There's 8 guys inside these tackles here. There's nowhere for Natron Means to run. As he takes his handoff from Ryan Leaf, you'll see everyone just steps up into a gap, and they fill in, and there's just no place for him to turn. He has to duck his head and just try to get back to the line of scrimmage. And now they're in 3rd and 8 again for the 2nd time in the series.
Charlie Jones stood wide to the far side, along with Webster Slaughter, still to the near side. Here's Fletcher, following his blocks. Fletcher fumbles the ball, picked up, Elijah Alexander. Another turnover by San Diego, both in the hands of Alexander. And in the first quarter, he's already having the game of a lifetime. Interception, fumble return, 3 tackles, and the Colts are in business once again.
Number 45, Tim Houck comes in and puts his helmet right on the football. As you see, Terrell Davis, it's a good gain. He'll come in right in behind Fortin or Aaron Taylor, and the ball just pops out. And that is the 2nd turnover, and that is the exact thing that the San Diego Chargers did not want to happen today.
Earth to Stephanie.
What?
It's like your mind is a million miles away.
His offense turned it over for the 2nd time, and now the Colts have it 1st down and 10 at the San Diego 36. Out of the offset eye, Dilger the motion man. Marshall Faulk, and Faulk grabbed immediately by Perella.
Here's a look at the turnover that they just had a moment ago, and you'll see Tim Houck come from this side of the field all the way over and put his head right on the football as they meet down the field, and that's exactly the right technique, and you never see that happen except when a guy puts his helmet right on the football in traffic like that, and that is a huge play for the Indianapolis Colts. The first one led to a touchdown, and we'll have yet to see what this one leads to.
2nd down and 9 from the 35 for Indy. Peyton Manning. Play action, Manning looking over the middle, and it is almost intercepted. Kurt Govea disappointed because he had that ball in range, and a dangerous pass by Manning.
Well, Marco Coleman was coming right at him, and he tried to put just enough arc on this football to get it over the defensive lineman in front of the linebackers, and Marshall Faulk couldn't get up off the ground far enough to grab it and pull it in.
Brings up 3rd down and 9 from the 35. Now Manning out of the shotgun, Harrison near side, Peyton far side. Manning over the middle, caught. It's Faulk, and he lunges to the 31. Kurt Govea with the hit. Now tomorrow on CBS, catch the hot new comedy night lineup starting with Cosby. And it's the new hit comedy. Critics and audiences are raving about The King of Queens with Kevin James and Jerry Stiller. And it's Monday night's #1 comedy, Everybody Loves Raymond, followed by the hilarious Brian Benben Show and the drama LA Doctors tomorrow right here on CBS. So in to attempt a 48-yarder, Mike Vanderjagt, who is 7 of 7 on the season. And it is good. 48-yard field goal by Vanderjagt, 8 of 8 on the season, and the Colts starting strong. They lead 11-0. And the story here in Indianapolis, 2 San Diego turnovers has led to all the points for the Colts. They lead it 11-0. Gardocki kicking it away. Fletcher deferring. This is Stevens at the goal line, and Tremaine Stevens over the 20 up to the 21. This Tuesday, on an all-new Jag, a U.S. soldier is accused of a crime that puts the entire U.S. Navy on trial. Jag, a new episode, Tuesday, 8/7 Central on CBS.
Right now the Chargers just need to weather this storm. They've turned the ball over twice, but they're on the road. They've got to realize they're on the road, and they're going to have to go through this sometimes. This is when they've got to be mature and just stick with their game plan. It's way too early to do anything like panic or change their game plan at this point.
First down from the 21 for Ryan Leaf. Natron Means the single setback. Here's Means over the right side, and he gets his shoulder square and gets to the 25-yard line. Jeff Burris with first contact for Indianapolis. And when we spoke to Kevin Gilbride yesterday at their hotel, the first thing he said, our #1 priority, no turnovers. And in the first quarter, they've already committed 2.
And both these teams that's the story of both these teams. Turnovers by these young quarterbacks have killed them. And it's been the case that the San Diego defense has been able to overcome those to still maintain 2 victories. The Colts defense has just not been that good yet.
Second down and 6. Here's Means again. Natron Means up to the 31, close to the first down. Jeff Burris with the tackle. And Natron Means is the kind of running back. He's big, 5'10", 245 pounds. You would want to run him 20 times or more, but when you get behind, it's hard to get him the ball.
That's exactly right, and that's going to be a problem today, perhaps, because what the Colts defense is going to do, try and get Natron to run side to side, going sideline to sideline. When Natron is so big, when he puts his shoulders toward the line of scrimmage, it takes more than one guy to stop him.
Picked up the first down from the 32. Means again, cuts it back, hopping through the hole. Look at Natron run up to the 41-yard line, where he's tackled by Burris and Belser. A gain of 10 yards.
Watch how Natron pick. You'll see these guys blocked down in here. Natron will take the ball. They're all kicking out here, and the ball will come right through the middle. And Natron just hops through the hole and picks his way along. Now the plan for the Colts, like we said just before this play, is to make Natron run side to side. Right there, he got the ball between the hashes and really almost finished between the hashes. If he does that, runs north and south all day, it's going to be a long afternoon for the Colt defense.
And he's about an eye blink shy of a first down already. Natron Means 6 carries, 27 yards. In '94, he rushed for a franchise record 1,350 yards. The year they advanced to the Super Bowl. Natron got into some, I don't want to say trouble, but some differences in lifestyle when he was in San Diego and didn't get along with Bobby Ross, the head coach. They let him go. He became a free agent in Jacksonville after last season, and they said, hey, we like him, he's what we need. They hired him again.
He played for Kevin Gilbride out there, and they became friends, and Kevin wanted him on his team.
Second down and 1 from the 41. Natron Means again, and look at him just run over Steve Morrison. Ellis Johnson finally with the tackle. A gain of 6. Follow all of your favorite NFL teams with CBS Sportsline. Get in-depth team notes and stats, plus matchup breakdowns for every game on CBS.Sportsline I just got a computer this morning.
Did you?
First computer.
No way.
Man, I tell you, that is the hardest thing to figure out. They say it's supposed to be easy.
If you had children, you could have them teach you. That's what I did.
First down and 10 from the 47 for San Diego. Down 11-0. Ryan Leaf steps up, delivers, and broken up. Intended receiver is still and covering Jeff Burris. Flag on the play.
As you see, the referee tried to throw the flag and threw it sideways instead of down the field. That was definitely pass interference. Brian still hand fighting with Jeff Burris on the outside.
Pass interference. Number 20, defense. Automatic first down.
The two cornerbacks on this defense for the Colts are really their real strong points. Jeff Burris over from the Buffalo Bills. You see there grabbing the jersey and pulling him and then leaning on his back. Yeah, you're going to get called for that. The referee tried to throw the flag early and ended up, it slipped out of his hand. He had to pick it up and throw it twice, Gus.
Jeff Burris, your former teammate. Got to be a little rough on him here, Mr. Announcer.
Yeah, on that play I have to. That was pass interference.
Meanwhile, Natron Means, and he's stopped by Tony McCoy. And talking to Rusty Tillman, their defensive coordinator in Indianapolis, he said, hey, our guys, we don't have a lot of talent. We have to play the defense exactly as the way it's scripted out for us.
It's going to take all 11 guys on this team to be in the right spot, on the right play, no missed assignments, and they're going to have to make the tackles that come to them. They're not going to be able to beat this San Diego offense with just one or two guys stepping up to play. All 11 guys have to play better than they have to win.
Second down and 4. From the 35. Means again with the blocker in front of him, and Natron Means leans forward. Needs to get to the 31 for a first down, and he'll be a half-yard short.
Here's Rusty Tillman right there, this guy with the distinguished reading glasses there, calling the plays from upstairs. And that's, you know, a lot of people hear about, you know, the offense has to call their plays from downstairs, get them to the field and get them out. The same thing on the defense. And the defense actually needs to get it out there faster than the offense, because you never know if they're going to quick snap or whatever. So they have to be on their toes all the time.
And that is the end of the first quarter of play. With the score, the Colts lead the Chargers 11-0. And welcome back to Indianapolis, where the Colts lead the Bolts 11-0 as we begin the second quarter of play. Gus Johnson along with Steve Tasker and Jim Mora. His team 0-4 in his first year here with Indianapolis. Prior to that, spent 10.5 seasons in New Orleans. And he guided the Saints to 10 or more wins 4 different times. 7th play of the drive for San Diego. Natron Means stutter steps through the hole and gets close to the 30-yard line. Gus Johnson along with Steve Tasker once again. And for this Indianapolis Colts team, last week against New Orleans was the first time all season that they led the football game, even though they ended up losing. A good start for them today. And
it looks like they really did. It's an emotional start. They've got all the momentum going their way, but now you see that San Diego's really trying to get their running game cranked up, and that has been the weakness of this Colts team, has been their defense's inability to stop their opponents from running.
Peyton Manning on the first play from scrimmage for Indianapolis had an opportunity for the big play, Marvin Harrison dropping it. But Peyton, the great thing that they say about him to a man on this team is he's the first person in to work every day. He's in at 7 in the morning, and he's the last guy to leave.
Yeah, veterans in the National Football League are very hard to impress, especially if you're a young player coming into the league. And all of those guys said, you know what, the guy's in here all the time, first guy in the morning, watching film, really trying to learn. And Peyton said, you know, he's trying to be patient with it. He doesn't want to step up and say, listen, this is the way it's going to be, this is the way we're going to do it. He wants to be patient with that and earn the respect of these guys before he tries to step up and be a real vocal leader.
So, they're short of the first down. John Carney in to attempt a 50-yarder. He's 8 of 9 on the season, 1 of 2 from this distance. Darren Bennett is his holder. And Carney, the Pro Bowler, and it's good. One of the best in the business, John Carney, with the 50-yard field goal. And we have an 11-3 game. (11-3). Colts lead the Chargers. Look at a barbecue eating contest. You need to be down there. You like your ribs. I know you like your ribs.
We did 3 games before I ever saw you without a sandwich.
Here's Keith Elias from the 5. Elias breaks the tackle up to the 31-yard line. A 27-yard return for Keith Elias. 14:02 to go in the second quarter of play. 11-3. .14:02 to go in the second quarter of play. Colts lead the Chargers 11-3, and the scoring drive, a nice 5-minute drive for the Chargers. 8 plays, 47 yards, and when you have a weapon like John Carney and you get inside the 40-yard line, you can really make some things happen.
Yeah, both kickers on these teams have been real bright spots. John Carney, a Pro Bowler, very solid, very accurate, and he's a real weapon for this Chargers team.
First down for the Colts from the 31. Manning in trouble, winds up, looks downfield, and this one is overthrown. Intended for Harrison, and he was in double coverage. Rodney Harrison running stride for stride with him, along with Terrence Shaw. So Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf, the #1 and #2 picks in the draft. Baptism by fire. It's not easy playing quarterback in this league, especially when you're a rookie starter.
Even though Peyton Manning has thrown for more yards than anybody, he's done that because they've been getting behind teams. They've had to throw, and that's even put more pressure on him to produce.
Second down and 10 from the 31-yard line. And Falk, Marshall Falk up to the 35. Helmets flying all over the field. That's John Perella losing his headgear. Now coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report, Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and George Seifert will have all the scores and highlights, plus a look at what's so special about the kick and punt return this year. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report. I'm sure you'll be interested in that as a former special teams guru.
That's exactly right. And so they didn't consult me, though. I think that says something about my standing.
Third down and 6. And flags on the play.
These two teams have struggled with turnovers, and you know, both offenses have had problems, but really the other 10 guys, it's not all these quarterbacks, the other 10 guys have got to step up and make sure that they do their jobs. Getting penalties on 3rd and 6 or 3rd and short, that's what really kills a team as well, and that's one way that the rest of the team could really help out their quarterbacks, is not taking stupid penalties. Third down and 11 now for Indianapolis from their own 30. San Diego showing blitz, they back out of it. Manning fires underneath, and it's picked off. Rodney Harrison at midfield. Harrison cuts it inside and gets to the Colts 30-yard line. Tarek Glenn with the tackle, no flags on the play. A return of 22 yards. So Peyton Manning throws his 12th interception of the season, and now the Chargers have good field position. You'll see here as Rodney Harrison just cuts right in front of E.G. Green. And these are the kind of things that both these quarterbacks have struggled with the entire season and continues today. In here in downtown Indianapolis, and the Chargers taking over after the Peyton Manning interception. At the Colts 31, first down. Natron Means in the backfield. Here's Means over the right side, and Natron Means gets to the 29. Robert Blackman with the tackle. This is how the interception happened. You'll see E.G. Green come up here and run his route this way. This is Marvin Harrison out here, as I'm an art major here. As they come out, you'll see Rodney Harrison jump right in front of E.G. Green. Now, E.G.'s got to run his route flat across the field this way. You see him bend up the field. It gives Rodney Harrison a chance to step in front and catch that football, and Peyton Manning can't be happy about that.
E.G. Green, a rookie out of Florida State. Second down and 9, and Lee calls timeout. 11:53 to go in the second quarter. Colts lead the Chargers 11-3. .11:53 remaining in the second quarter, 11-3. Colts lead the Chargers, and the quarterback comparison. Leaf and Manning, their first ever meeting. Each has thrown an interception. Manning with the touchdown and Marshall Faulk. Second down, 9 yards to go for the Chargers. Natron Means caught up at the line of scrimmage. He may have gained 1. Ellis Johnson wraps him up, but a flag on the play. And a personal foul against San Diego.
You know, as we talked about these two quarterbacks being compared, I think one of the things it's interesting to note is Peyton Manning's thrown it 8 times. Ryan Leaf's only thrown it 4 times. That'll give you an idea of where the focus of their offense is.
Personal foul. It'll crack back. Offense. Replace.
We'd like to apologize for some of the audio difficulties we're experiencing with the referee's mic. Charlie Jones, the guilty receiver, the illegal crackback block. That brings up second down and a long 24 yards for San Diego.
They won't try and get the whole thing. They'll just try and get about half of it back, Gus.
Flags on the play again. Down the field. Bryant still. Separation. Caught it. Touchdown, but a flag on the play.
So much for getting half of it back.
45 yards, but there is a flag. And it looks like it's coming back. Yes, it is.
Illegal formation. 70 on the offense. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 3 points, second down.
That's Vaughn Parker, the right tackle.
They call it here. Vaughn Parker is not, he's too far back off the line of scrimmage. He needs to be up here on the line of scrimmage with the rest of the offensive line. They called him, and right now, at this point in the game, that takes away a great catch by Brian Still here working against Jeff Burris. Just out of the reach, and that's a touchdown on a second and what was a second and 24. Now becomes a second and 29.
From midfield for San Diego. Leaf, far side, and Charlie Jones had it taken away, and they say it's incomplete. Tyrone Poole, 4th year out of Fort Valley State, the former Carolina Panther, with the defensive play. And they like the cornerbacks on this team.
They really do. Then another strong point. Now here, they call it a bobbled ball. He gets both feet down. I think that's a catch. Now they're fighting for it, but he's got it. That should have been a fumble right there. He's got this ball. He gets both feet down, turns around. Tyrone Poole trying to slap it away. Yeah, that was a catch. That was a catch. It should be 3rd and about 10 rather than 3rd and 29.
San Diego 1 of 4 on 3rd down conversions. Setting up the screen. Natron Means breaks through, and Means tackled inside the 40. Larry Chester, the rookie from Temple, with the tackle from behind, but they're short of the first down. Now let's go to New York. Jim Nance for an NFL Today update.
All right, Gus and Steve, coming into the weekend, only New England had not committed a turnover on the season, but there have been 3 today by the Patriots, and this time Bledsoe's fumbles returned by Keith Mitchell for a touchdown, and the Saints lead in the second quarter. And let's go back to Indianapolis.
All right, Jim, what a job Mike Ditka is doing with that New Orleans team. Undefeated. Darren Bennett. And this one is inside the 5. What a punt by the former Australian rules football player and he's excited about it. 10 minutes, 26 seconds to go in the second quarter, 11-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Staples and by First Junior.
You get a chance in this game to see one of the most versatile punters in the National Football League. Darren Bennett grew up playing Australian rules football. When he kicks this ball, most punters kick it, the ball's laying flat. He kicks it on this play, and the ball's laying on its end, and it'll come out like a kickoff, spinning like this. And as it goes, you'll see the ball bounces inside the 10 and then backs up, and it gives his team a great chance to down this ball on the 8-yard line.
Well, the government kick, Indianapolis pin, but Marshall Faulk breaks out on first down, picks up the first down and some. So the holes opening up for Marshall Faulk, a gain of 13 yards.
Running right up between the tackles on that play. Great blocking up front. They've really struggled sometimes in the run game, but they keep handing the ball to Marshall Faulk. They're trying to do their best to keep pressure off a young quarterback, and Marshall has really come through with a great year thus far.
Accounts for 40% of the offense. Has 26 yards rushing on the day, 7 carries, first down from the 22. Faulk again, spin, breaks a tackle, and gets to the 25-yard line. And Marshall Faulk has spoken with Eric Dickerson before, and he told us when we spoke to him yesterday that he talked to Eric Dickerson about playing here in Indianapolis, and when he was playing here, the offensive line not blocking. And remember, Eric made those comments about his offensive line not blocking. Marshall said, I'm not going to do that.
It's a classic case of a young guy learning from a guy who's been through it before. Eric did not handle it well. Marshall has handled it extremely well. He's been here his entire career, and not very many good teams he's played on. He's really handled it much better than his predecessor did.
And Faulk said that Dickerson, when he spoke with him, said, hey man, don't make the mistake that I made by criticizing your offensive line. You have to support them, and also realize that their job is a little harder than yours, because on every play they're going up against another man.
And you see here, Marshall Faulk has really had a great year. He leads the league in yards from scrimmage, and that's how effective he has been, catching the ball out of the backfield, running the football out of the backfield. In fact, last week he said, maybe I should wear Raymond Berry's old number and become a wide receiver. He caught 6 balls for 128 yards last week. Has been doing it all for this franchise.
A 78-yard touchdown from Manning. Peyton ready to throw, far side. It is thrown low but cradled. E.G. Green, his second reception. Well, they wave it off, and Green can't believe it. Manning disappointed, and the punt team comes on the field for the Colts.
You see here, as he throws it out, you'll see, we'll get a chance to see if he did catch it, and the referees are standing to his sides, and that's a catch. That is a catch. E.G. Green has a right to be upset with that.
Chris Gardocki standing at the 8-yard line. Laterio Rashall back deep at his own 30. Spiraling kick. Rashall at the 25. Returning it straight ahead, and he's got one man to beat. Rashall tackled from behind, fumbles the ball, recovered by San Diego, but he gets up to the 32. Ray McElroy made the tackle from behind, and Laterio Rashall gives San Diego great field position, a return of 40 yards.
Exactly what you want to see a return guy do. Just catch it and run straight up the field, right between the hashes. The kicker does what he's supposed to do. Maybe if you don't tackle him, you got to make him run sideways and give the pursuit a chance to catch up, saved a touchdown for him, even though he didn't make a tackle.
So Wayne Sevier patting Rashall on the back. He's a special teams coach. Play action, Leaf setting up in the pocket, fires, and it's incomplete. Busy day in New York for our Jim Nance. Let's check in with him now.
All right, Gus and Steve, the Jets are on the board. Vinny Testaverde with the hookup here. To who else but Keyshawn Johnson. And the Jets lead it now, midway second quarter. Let's go back now to Indianapolis.
All right, Jim, our score here, 11-3. Indianapolis leads San Diego, 8:15 to go in the second quarter. Great return by Laterio Rashall, and the Chargers have it at the Colts' 35-yard line. Second down. Natron Means. And Means flags on the play. He got about a yard. And holding against San Diego.
Ryan Leaf looks to be a little bit more settled down than he was in his first few series after throwing the interception. It took him a while to recover from that.
Holding, number 67, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
And on first down of this series, he threw a ball just before we went to the break that had plenty of time to do it, but he seems to be playing a little better. Watch here as the center. This is the guy who gets called for the hold. Roman Fortin there. He just, I don't know, I didn't see it very much, but that is the call.
3 penalties, 30 yards for San Diego. Leaf passing on 2nd and 20. Now he decides to run it. Stood up, driven backwards at the 40. Elijah Alexander. Well, we've been calling his name all afternoon. Already has an interception. Picked up a fumble. Playing some good football today.
And I spoke to general manager for the Colts, Bill Poland, and he feels this guy's their fastest. He's their best athlete on defense, at least in the linebacking core. And has really stepped up his play in the past few weeks, trying to make something happen. There you see Bill Poland right there, a little friend of mine from way back in the day.
Matter of fact, he claimed you off waivers.
Yeah, that was
when you were with Houston.
He told us that epic story the other day. He's getting it together here in Indianapolis.
Leaf again. Near side, he throws a strike. Charlie Jones with the catch at the 29-yard line. A gain of 10. Jones now the starting wide receiver, replacing the rookie Michael Ricks out of Stephen F. Austin.
Anytime you give Ryan Leaf or Peyton Manning the kind of time that Ryan Leaf had on that play, you're going to see why they drafted these guys number 1 and number 2. Ryan Leaf just dropped back, took all his time, waited for the route to develop, and just gunned in the pass on about a 25-yard throw to his receiver. And that's why these guys have the potential to be the best.
John Carney already with the 50-yarder. This a 47-yarder, and he missed it. Only the 2nd miss of the season for John Carney. And the score remains 11-3. Now next Saturday, NASDAQ College Football features regional matchups. Tennessee's Jamal Lewis leads the Vols to meet the Georgia Bulldogs, or it's a war between the state when Peter Warwick sparks Florida State against Edgar and James and the Miami Hurricanes. Next Saturday, 3 Eastern time. First down and 10 from the 37 for the Colts. Marshall Faulk trying to go outside, and he's boggled up nicely. Lou Bush with the tackle.
Great penetration there by the front 4 of the Chargers. Marco Coleman running the play down from behind. Junior Seau, Lou Bush all pursuing to the play, and that's really why this Charger team has been able to win 2 games early on with a tough quarterback situation. The Colts haven't. Is the strength of this Charger defense.
How about this score? Buffalo leading San Francisco 17-0. Dallas in the skins. 2nd down and 12 from the 35. Faulk again hit hard as he goes through the hole. William Fuller with the tackle. The 13-year man out of North Carolina.
That is 2 plays for -3 yards on this series. They have decided you are not going to beat us. They are not going to beat us with Marshall Faulk. Watch the little extracurricular stuff with Marvin Harrison and Torrance Shaw. No love lost there. We'll see more of that matchup, I'm sure.
3rd down and 12 from the 35. Manning over the middle, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Torrance Small. And that's been happening to Peyton Manning all year.
You know, we talked to these guys, and they don't really say too much, but yet a lot of their interceptions have been plays just like that, where the ball has been tipped, where the ball has gone through the receiver's hands or been batted at the line of scrimmage up into the air. And you just kind of attribute that to bad luck. This is a ball that's right on his face mask. and he doesn't catch the football, and that's frustrating for a quarterback.
Gardocki punting. Rashall back deep at the 10. Rashall with a lane. Ontario Rashall again. High steps out of bounds at the 42. And so far, the Chargers doing a good job on the punt return team.
When you talk to this coaching staff of the Indianapolis Colts, they say one thing we really lack is team speed. And really the first place that shows up on is your special team, because if your starters are a little lacking in speed, it really means that your backups can't run either. And it really shows up in the coverage teams when they can't get down the field fast enough to keep Latario Rashall from running the football back in their face.
The offseason trade of Eric Metcalf to Arizona allowed Rashall to become the starter as their punt returner, and he's, for the second straight time rather, he's given the San Diego team good field position. They start from their own 46. Natron Means blowing through the hole, carrying people with him up to the 42-yard line of Indianapolis. A gain of 13 yards, but a flag has been thrown. And a face mask against the Colts.
Five-yard only. Number 30.
Now let's go to Jim Nantz standing by in New York.
All right, thank you, Gus. New England's Ty Law picked off Danny Werfel, set up a Bledsoe touchdown pass, a Bledsoe bullet to Brisby, and
All right, Jim, and the Chargers keeping it on the ground. Get inside the 35-yard line. Natron Means once again running the football. And Means, after carrying the ball only 11 times last week in their 34-16 loss to the Giants, now he's carried it 13 times for 59 yards in the first half of play.
And after that play, Aaron Taylor, the left guard, gets up and is limping, and they're going to take a minute to let him hobble off the field. Natron Means hates to see one of these offensive linemen in front of him go down. This is a quality bunch that they've got. They went out, spent some money on the free agent market, brought Aaron Taylor in, John Jackson, Roman Fortin, along with Raleigh McKenzie and Von Parker. This is a quality bunch that came in here to protect Ryan Leaf, and it's been the result. The result has been Natron Means has benefited because they've really been able to get the run game going this year.
That's probably the biggest difference for Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. Leaf with a veteran offensive line, also a stronger defense.
That's exactly right. These teams are a little bit on different tracks. Indianapolis is a rebuilding team, and they're starting from scratch. Start on the offensive side this year. They've got young, skilled players they're very proud of, but they need some depth.
2nd and 6. Near side, caught by Still, and he gets out of bounds at the 25-yard line, make it a 26. Pushed by Jeff Burris. Raising kids was a full-time job, so Ray and Deborah found the perfect babysitter. Now somebody's got to tell Grandma she's fired. An all-new episode Monday night of the #1 comedy Everybody Loves Raymond. Tomorrow, 9, 8 Central, right here on CBS. So from the 25-yard line for San Diego, trailing 11-3. First down. Means, reverse, Charlie Jones. Ryan Leaf blocking in front of him. Leaf throws a nice block, and Jones gets inside the 10.
Ryan Leaf trying to take a little revenge on the defensive backfield for intercepting those passes. Goes out and tries to lay him out. Look at him, he's laughing, having some fun out there. You'll see, watch Ryan Leaf as he comes out, hands the ball off, and then leads out this way on the sweep. You'll see here, he's looking for somebody to hit, and that's just great for a quarterback to do. Get down the field. The offense right there. Watch this block as he chases Tyrone Poole down the field trying to throw the block. Ends up can't block one. Let's try and get another. Whoops!
So first down at 10 from the 11. Natron Means lowers his head, and Robert Blackman makes the tackle for safety.
Anytime those quarterbacks get out and try and do those unusual things, they forget that not only are they out there playing, they're also become a target.
They're targets.
Yeah.
Ryan Leaf, big fella though, 6'5", 235 pounds, strong as well. Those long arms, they said when they tested him on the bench press, he did 225 about 16, 17 times.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
That's pretty strong
for a quarterback. I mean, these quarterbacks usually you can't. I mean, you have to drag them into the weight room with a 20-mule team, or they won't go in there. But I get these new guys coming out now. Everybody lifts weights. Everybody's into working out. It's really become commonplace for these guys to come out benching way over 300 pounds. Even the wide receivers.
I bet you Jim Kelly was a big weightlifter.
I'll take that back.
And the drive. 5 plays, 44 yards. San Diego knocking on the door. 2nd and 8 from the Indianapolis 9. Leap in the end zone, incomplete. Ball intended for his tight end, Freddie Jones, and that one, he overthrew it. And Vaughn Parker left the game on the last play. He's the right tackle already. Aaron Taylor limped to the sidelines, the left guard also.
Now they're starting to shuffle guys around in there and make sure that they can still keep him. I think Aaron Taylor did come back into the football game, but was hobbled earlier. And Vaughn Parker is a guy they don't want to lose for very long. Raleigh Roundtree steps in at right tackle.
3rd down and 8 from the 9. Timeout San Diego.
Leaf is not happy about the lineup that he had in there. Maybe it was the personnel, or perhaps it could have been as they were lined up in the wrong formation. The play clock was down to 4 seconds. He did not have time to shuffle those guys around and set them up.
Now don't forget, next Sunday here on CBS, beginning at noon Eastern, the NFL on CBS has a big lineup of doubleheader games. In the big early game, the Chiefs expect the return of Elvis Gerbach and Andre Rison when they take on Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots. And later, 2 old Warriors with plenty left in the tank collide when Elway and the Broncos battle Moon and the Seahawks. Check your local listings. It all begins with Jim Nantz, Britt Jones, George Seifert, and Marcus Allen on the NFL Today.
San Diego's really weathered the storm. They've been trailing the entire game, but they've been in field position. They played the entire 2nd quarter, and Indianapolis is in.
3rd down and 8 from the 9. Lee underneath. Bryant still can't get outside, and still wrapped up by Monty Montgomery, the 2nd-year man out of Houston. 1:58 to go in the 2nd quarter. 11-3 Colts. .158 to go in the 2nd quarter. Jim Moore's Colts leading it 11-3, looking for their first win of the season. They're 0-4, and Kevin Gilbride's team, they charged out, won their first 2 games against Buffalo and then Tennessee, but lost the last 2. Kansas City and the Giants. Now John Carney made a 50-yarder, missed his last attempt, a 47-yarder. This one from 25 yards out. Chip shot for Carney, and it's good. 1:55 to go in the 2nd quarter of play. 11-6. .25-yard field goal by John Carney, and San Diego now trails 11-6. He sends it away, and back deep, it's Keith Elias from the 4. Elias getting outside. Keith Elias up to the 25-yard line, where he's stopped by Jimmy Spencer. Now coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report, Jim Nantz, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and George Seifert will have all the scores and highlights, plus a look at what's so special about the kick and punt return this year. That's all coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report. And speaking of that, we've seen 2 good punt returns by Laterio Rashall. Keith Elias has done a great job returning kicks today also for Indianapolis.
And 85 to 90% of field position is dictated by your special teams. They don't score very many times, but they do dictate almost all the field position during the football game.
Manning passing on 1st down. Marshall Faulk out of the backfield, keeps his feet, gets up to the 32.
They're going to have to go
Junior Seau with the tackle.
They're going to have to go no huddle here. They've got to get to the Chargers about 35 or maybe 36-yard line to try a field goal.
Manning over the middle again. Gilligan And Dilger up to the 38-yard line. And this is where Peyton Manning was great in college. A leader, 2-minute offense. When he was at Tennessee, he could do it as well as anybody. Looking far side, incomplete. That kills the clock. Marvin Harrison, the closest man to the football.
William Fuller just crushed Peyton on that last play. It was a 3-step drop, and he almost didn't get it away. As you watch here, he just steps up and whack. Now that's a quick drop as well. They brought 6 guys on the rush that time, and somebody came clean. William Fuller obviously came clean, and Peyton Manning was lucky to get that one out of bounds.
1:09 to go in the second quarter of play. Manning now in the shotgun. Torrance Small, the motion man. Manning underneath, and it's caught. Flags on the play. This time it's Small. Stopped by Seau, a gain of 10 yards. Let's see.
Terry Glenn just tackled Marco Coleman coming off the corner for the Colts. He got beat very quickly, and you'll see right here, right in front of the, if we get a chance to look at it in a minute perhaps, but Terry Glenn tackle. You'll see right here as Marco Coleman comes off the corner, Terry Glenn will just grab him and make sure that he doesn't kill his quarterback. And this is actually a pretty good play because he was beaten. You see there, he's beaten. And that's what every offensive lineman will try and do and hope they get away with it.
Terry Glenn, second year out of Cal, first round pick. Now the Colts pushed all the way back, 2nd and 20 from their own 29. They have reset the clock, 1:02.
Indianapolis runs the risk here now of having to give the ball back to San Diego, giving them an opportunity to get a field goal. And with the way the Chargers have returned the football on punts, that is a risk.
Peyton Manning out of the shotgun. Torrance Small, the motion man. And they hand it off. Marshall Faulk cutting it back. And he is wrapped up from behind by William Fuller. The old guy can still run a little bit. He chases down Marshall Faulk.
There's a guy that thought about retiring before the season started. And they talked him into coming back, said, okay, we'll just give you 20 to 25 snaps a game. Come in, rush the passer for us, and all of a sudden somebody goes down. William Fuller's taken every defensive snap in the last couple of weeks. And you see there, still got the spring in his leg to run those young guys down. They only bring 3 guys here. Junior Seau is watching Marshall Faulk and watch William Fuller come all the way around. You see him there deep in the backfield, stays with it. There he is, coming back in and grabbing Marshall Faulk from behind. And that's just an old veteran who knows, sometimes if you just don't give up, you get lucky.
You said William Fuller thought about retiring. Well, he got $1.8 million for reporting to camp. So I think that's a little bit of motivation to get you in there.
I think I got 1 more year left in me.
At least. There's William Fuller, registered career sack number 99.5 last week. 1 more for 100. 3rd down, 18. Manning, far side. And it's caught at the 45. Harrison, that ball stayed in the air a long time. Clock still running, 42 and counting. Gain of 14.
They say that his forward start, when he was hit, right when he caught the ball, they pushed him backwards out of bounds, which means his forward progress was stopped inbounds, and the clock keeps running. And I'm surprised San Diego doesn't use that last timeout to stop the clock here and give their offense a chance to throw it down the field, but they're not going to do it. Now, the Colts may just take a delay of game penalty.
Gardocki letting the clock run all the way down. And he sends it away. Short kick. And it takes a high bounce. And that is the end of the quarter. So the end of the first half of play. Ryan Leaf threw an interception. San Diego turned the ball over twice. Jim Mora's team started out quickly, got up 11-0. And now they say, wait a minute. There may be a flag on the play.
They're going to call the teams back onto the football field unless they give the Chargers a chance to decline the penalty, which they're going to do, I think. See, they're talking to Wayne Sevier, the former Redskins special teams coach. Yeah.
So they decline the penalty, and that's the end of the first half of play. With the Colts leading the Chargers 11-6. Coming up next, it's the NASDAQ halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. And welcome back to the RCA Dome here in downtown Indianapolis. I'm Gus Johnson along with Steve Tasker. I got to take care of my rookie partner here. 11-6 is our score right now. The Colts leading the football game, and they came out, looked really good early, but in the second quarter, it was San Diego making the difference.
Well, we're starting to see the difference between these two football teams. San Diego's defense is just that much stronger than the Colts defense, and San Diego's running game is starting to exploit that. Early on, you saw the turnovers that took their toll, and San Diego really, all they had to do was weather the storm. They came out, Ryan Leaf throwing his, really on his second throw of the game, throws an interception, picked off here. This started it all off and led to the first touchdown by the Colts, and then Terrell Fletcher tops the ball up on his run.
Elijah Alexander
is responsible for both those interceptions. Then Peyton Manning returns the favor, throws this interception to Rodney Harrison. That has been the story for both these offenses thus far in this season, and until they can stop turning the ball over, these defenses are going to have to make up for those problems. And you can see the total yards tilted in favor of the Chargers, and that's really due to the running game that the Chargers have been able to put together.
But turnovers and points off turnovers, the big statistic. Ryan Leaf throwing an interception, his 9th of the season, and Terrell Fletcher with the fumble that was returned, rather picked up by Elijah Alexander. And the quarterback comparison, each quarterback has thrown an interception, but Peyton Manning has the touchdown to Marshall Faulk. So we're set to begin the second half of play. San Diego receiving the football. Chris Gardocki kicking off for Indianapolis. And the second half underway. Stevens brings it out of the end zone. 5 yards deep. Up to the 30. He's got a lane. Flags on the play. Chris Gardocki misses the tackle. Tremaine Stevens all the way down inside the 15.
They're going to bring it back with the flag down inside the 30-yard line. There's a hold on the play.
An 88-yard return is coming back.
Monty Montgomery was held on the play right on the sidelines in front of the Colts bench. And there were guys hopping up and down saying, hey, hey, hey. The flag came in from midfield.
The return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And those are the kind of things that will, as much as a big return will help a team get into momentum, a penalty just sucks the life out of them. And it's really, you feel like it's an opportunity you'll never get back. You'll see right there,
Latario
Rashall with the grip on Rico Clark, right, which really gives Tremaine Stevens the opportunity to make that return. So justice seems to have been served on that return.
Latario Rashall, their punt returner, has had a nice game today, returning punts for San Diego. So Chargers start at their own 20. Natron Means running the ball, picks up 5 yards. Natron, busy day at the office for him. He is carrying the load for this San Diego team.
And it'll be telling later on, his backup, Terrell Fletcher, who had the fumble in the first half, is down with a right knee. His return is questionable. If Natron gets upwards of 25, 30 carries, if he continues to run well, it may take its toll. He may become less effective as the game wears on because there's no one to give him a break in there.
15 carries, 66 yards for Natron Means. Far side still with the catch. And Brian Still gets up to the 34-yard line, picks up the first down. Gain of 9. Jeff Burris with the tackle. And here's a young man that started the final 4 games of last year, Brian Still, as he replaced Tony Martin in his 3rd year out of Virginia Tech. Had a 100-yard game last week against the Giants, his second 100-yard game of the season. A terrific game against Buffalo, their first game of the season.
That last play was just a question when Ryan Leaf looked out, saw he had Jeff Burst playing off him, said, you just run out and run a hitch. I'm going to hit you. They've done that a couple of times.
Natron Means, when he gets over the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. So 2 injuries for the Chargers. Fletcher with the knee sprain, and also Aaron Taylor. He has a sprained right knee also. The left guard, and he's out for the rest of the game. Second down and 8 from the 36. Ryan Leaf under pressure. Got it away, and it's caught by Still. Close to the first down. And they really like how this young man has developed.
They really do. It was his play that allowed them to do some different things with their personnel. They said, this guy's going to be our guy this year. We think he's really going to emerge, and he really has. He's having a career year early on. Ryan Leaf has become very confident in him. You see him throwing the quick hitches to him. Natron Means picking up the blitz there, flipping Steve Morrison over the top, making sure that Ryan Leaf has enough time to throw that football. And you see when these guys get time to throw, both these quarterbacks, Leaf and Manning, you see why they were such high picks. They can really put the ball on target.
Third down and short. Double tight end. And Means leans forward. And he's close to the first down. I think he has it.
Most of Natron's yards today have come just inside the tackles. They give it to him. He runs almost right at Ryan Leaf in the backfield and then picks the spot. That big offensive line is really doing a good job, even though Aaron Taylor, the starting left guard, is out.
And ironically, he said growing up, his favorite player was Eric Dickerson. Great tailback, played for the Rams and also right here in Indianapolis. First and 10 from the 45. Natron again, and what a hole. Natron. Look at the big fella rumble inside the 35. That's a gain of 21. Tyrone Poole with the tackle.
You see, he's running right up the middle of the formation. He just comes in. He's going to go right up the middle. There's no rocket science here. The offensive line fires up. You see him just blow the defensive line out of the way. Natron Means doesn't get touched until Tyrone Poole runs him down from behind. That's great work by the offensive line. Natron Means just running right up the middle of the formation. That's exactly what the Chargers wanted to do here today.
Means closing in on 100 yards. They give it to him again. And this time he doesn't go far. Corralled in the backfield, Steve Morrison, the fourth-year man out of the University of Michigan. Log on to www.nfl.com and check out this week's player spotlight on Vikings wide receivers Jake Reed and Chris Carter. Plus, get team-by-team matchups on the NFL.com. Three pretty good wide receivers. Randy Moss in Minnesota also. They have a date with Green Bay this week.
Changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
They clock winding down. Means spin. Natron Means lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Bernard Whittington got there first.
Now Ryan Leaf changed the play at the line of scrimmage, and you don't know whether he changed it from a wide play to an inside play or whatever, but when he did, he obviously thought he saw something that they had planned on changing too. That time, the Colts defense shifted, ran a stunt that shut the play off from this beginning. You never know that the Colts defense may have baited them into giving them something to make them call a play there, and then took it away with the sting.
Ninth play of the drive for the Chargers. Leaf in trouble, threw it away, and a dangerous pass by Leaf. Just flipped it up in the air, and Jeff Burris was right there.
Ryan Leaf is such a confident quarterback. He just feels like if he can throw it out, he's going to stand in there and he's going to be able to throw it out there and get it and get the ball there. This is John Jackson on the ground down.
The former Pittsburgh Steeler looks like he's in a lot of pain.
And this is not good news for the Chargers to have the whole left side of their offensive line down for a few plays. They're going to have to revamp the offensive line. Those are the two guys. You'll see as John Jackson backs up out of here. This is him right here, and he'll trip over. He'll trip over Alexander as he comes from the other side. Watch, number 50 comes over, and bang, right there. You see the defensive lineman runs into his leg, and as the pocket collapses, those are the times when the injuries happen. You see he's in great pain. We'll have to come back and see how he's going to be.
(11-6) Colts, 9:34 to go in the third quarter.
You'll see Elijah Alexander coming off the other side, and this is John Jackson. You'll see Alexander go in low, trying to get to Ryan Leaf as he steps forward, and that's where the contact is as Elijah Alexander leg whips inadvertently John Jackson, and you see there his leg gets hit. It's a good thing his foot came up off the ground. Perhaps that lessened the severity of the injury, but he did walk off under his own power, but he is not feeling his best.
A noticeable limp for John Jackson, who came over from Pittsburgh and signed the richest contract ever for an offensive lineman, 6 years, $26 million. Aaron Taylor also out of the game with a knee injury. He's the left guard, so that left side is in trouble. You said that expect for the Colts to do what?
They're going to come right over the top of that left side. They're going to send extra people. They'll start bringing extra people over the left side of the offensive line, knowing that both the left guard and left tackle are out. They're going to make it cause problems if they can for those guys on that side that are replacing Aaron Taylor and John Jackson.
That penalty is declined.
So Joe Bugle, the offensive line coach here in San Diego, there he is in the middle trying to rally his guys. And one of his sayings is dominate when you're out there. I want you to dominate. It's going to be hard with the left side of that line. Injured.
And this is another kick just like we saw Darren Bennett hit a little while ago. Jerome Poole makes sure it's a fair catch.
At the 10-yard line. 9:26 to go in the third. Colts still leading 11-6. Outside the RCA Dome, where the Colts lead the Chargers 11-6. Colts first down and 10 from their own 10-yard line. Marshall Faulk with a seam, and Faulk picks up maybe 6 on the play. William Fuller with the tackle. John Jackson has a left knee contusion. He's a left tackle, and he is probable, so he likely will return to the football game.
That's huge for the San Diego offense, and I think that'll give Ryan Leaf a sigh of relief. That he's going to have his left tackle behind. Exactly. He's going to have his left tackle guarding his backside.
Second down and 3 from the 17 now. And Marco Coleman jumping across the line of scrimmage.
Not much doubt about that one. I mean, he said, all right, you got me. You got me.
Former Miami Dolphin has led the defensive lineman in tackles the last 2 years.
Number 90 on the defense.
So with 8 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the third quarter, Indianapolis leading San Diego 11-6. And the Colts, this is the second of a 3-game homestand. Lost last week to New Orleans. They will play Buffalo next week. And Buffalo doing really well at home as they lead the 49ers underneath, and the ball is caught. Jerome Peyton, the rookie wide receiver out of Washington, cradling the football. Stopped by Greg Jackson, the safety.
And they run a flood route over to Peyton Manning's right, and a little play action back the other way. He'll come out, and you'll see Peyton crossing the screen behind him. And he looks deep to try and hit Marvin Harrison, but then accepts the pass from Peyton on the short route after Harrison was covered by the deep safeties.
Making 2nd and 5 from the 27. Faulk stopped in the backfield, and he loses yardage. Marshall Faulk unable to get away from Junior Seau.
He was in the backfield so fast. Marshall Faulk didn't have a chance to even stop and make a cut. Junior came in low. Watch Junior and Govea, both these guys make this play. They just shoot into the backfield, read it very quickly. You see Govea go in low, take him out, and Junior Seau comes in. That's great linebacker play, and that's why this Charger defense has been able to keep this team in a lot of games when their offense didn't deserve to be in those games.
3rd down and 8. Quick strike, ball caught. Torrance Small, and Small is shaken up on the play, hops to his feet though, but he's short of the 1st down. Junior Seau again in on the tackle.
Watch Junior as he tries to time the snap up, trying to get to the quarterback, and then turns around and says, forget it. He rushes the passer, then makes the tackle downfield. That's speed on your defense when you have a guy that can do that.
Chris Gardocki, high snap, handled at the 15, high wobbly kick. Ontario Shaw, fair catch signal at the 23. A 49-yard punt. Junior Seau and the defense now leave it in the hands of Ryan Leaf and the offense. (11-6) Colts, 6:33 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Gus Johnson along with Steve Tasker with you from the RCA Dome. Raleigh Roundtree in the football game.
Troy Sienkiewicz also in there. This is a whole new left side for the offensive line of San Diego. And look for the Colts to try and take advantage of that somehow in their pass rush and the run game.
1st down and 10 from the 24. Flags on the play. And somebody moved on the line.
Already you see it, Raleigh Roundtree moving early. First play off out there is a left tackle.
Snap. False start. Number 74, offense.
7th penalty. 55 yards against San Diego.
You'll watch him here as he just kind of leans backwards before the ball is snapped, and that's enough to draw the penalty. You see there, that's where the penalty comes from, and you can see it's just coming in cold off the bench, not being quite ready, not being into the flow of the game as an offensive lineman.
In his 2nd year out of South Carolina State. 1st down and 15. Natron Means running over the right side, and Means gets up over the 20, up to the 23-yard line, maybe the 24. Natron, that power running, Bertrand Berry in on the play.
That kind of puts off Chargers offense in between a rock and a hard place. They want Natron Means to carry the football, but their offensive line on the left side is not the same offensive line they started with. They need to run the football to be effective today, and yet their offensive line is banged up here on the left side.
6 minutes to go. Natron gained 5 in the last play. 2nd and 10 from the 24. Leaf, plenty of time, steps up and runs. Ryan Leaf with running room, and he slides down at the 37, a gain of 13, but another flag has been thrown. Holding against San Diego. Very sloppy football game.
Number 70, offense. 10-yard penalty.
Von Parker called for that. Now the right tackle. Yeah, you see it happen here. Here he is right in here. Number 70, and this ball is snapped. He's going to catch Bertrand Berry right there. As Relief releases, he holds him and doesn't let him pursue Ryan Leaf, and that's where the call came from, in from the left side of the screen. The head linesman called that from the sideline, that hold.
So 2nd down and a long 20. Natron Means, and Means is wrapped up Elijah Alexander. He says, not here. Elijah Alexander's had a great football game today.
You can tell that San Diego's offense is just out of kilter right now. The new offensive linemen, they're jumping off sides, they're holding. Ryan Leaf has to pull it down and run with it. They're really out of sync right now, and this series has really been a disaster for their offense down in their own end.
3rd down and 16 from their own 18. Leaf out of the shotgun, 3-receiver package. Leaf Looking for the long ball, still in the seam, and it's broken up. No flags on the play. Jeff Burris, the former Buffalo Bill, your former teammate, with the good play in the secondary.
Well, going right at the strength of the defense and the cornerbacks, Jeff Burris, guarding Brian Still, jumps up, makes the great athletic play, batting the ball away from Brian Still. You see there the great leap. And right there, Robert Blackman, number 25, is still down on the ground after falling right over the top of Brian Still.
Robert Blackman, the starting safety, 9th year out of Baylor, played for Grant Taft there, also played with James Francis, who's in Cincinnati, while he was a Baylor Bear. So 4:36 to go here in the third quarter. Back in a moment. 4:36 remaining in the third quarter of play. Darren Bennett standing at the 2.5-yard line, and Tyrone Poole back deep at the 27. Poole comes forward, fair catch signal at the 36, and that's where Peyton Manning and the Colts start. 46-yard punt for Bennett. 4:28 to go in the third quarter of play. The NFL on CBS. Back after this. 11-6, 4 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. And there's Bill Polian, the GM here in Indianapolis, and he said the reason he selected Peyton Manning over Ryan Leaf was because Manning was more equipped to start right away and to replace a popular guy like Jim Harbaugh because of the extra year in school and also his upbringing. Hayward, and he gets close to the first down.
There he is. He's happy about that play. That's why they brought him in. It gives him a little more flexibility. They have not been able to run the two-back offense all year. You see Marshall Faulk blocking for Peyton Manning, and Ironhead Hayward getting the pass out of the backfield and reversing roles a little bit, and that's the flexibility that a good true fullback can give you, especially one who can block, catch, run with the football. Craig Ironhead Hayward is a true fullback, but he is a very good athlete.
Picked up 9, 2nd and 1. Ironhead again, and Ironhead Hayward picks up the first down. So a good acquisition by this Colts team.
He's really going to help this football team. They have said that they need somebody in the backfield to help Marshall Faulk, to give him a little more freedom. And in his new role, when they're running him on pass routes out of the backfield, they need an extra guy to come in and pass protect in certain situations. Ironhead Hayward, he asked Jim Mora, he knows that Ironhead Hayward, the one thing he can do is block and protect in the passing game.
Came into camp on Wednesday, a svelte 261 pounds. First down and 10 from the 47. Marshall Faulk, and Faulk gets close to midfield. Now let's go to Jim Nantz, standing by with an update in New York.
All right, guys, thank you very much. And check this out. This is the run of the day. It comes off an interception. How about Henry Thomas? Just bouncing around the bodies and into the end zone. His third career touchdown. They're up 10. Let's go back to Gus and Steve.
All right, Jim, the old guy. What a run. Henry Thomas. Touchdown. New England playing well on in New Orleans.
Love to see the biggies get a chance to touch the ball, don't you?
We're talking about that all week. Marshall Faulk, and he takes a lick and goes backwards. Kurt Govea hazing Faulk on that play, and Govea gets up with a big smile.
Sometimes when you put the guys in, watch Junior say how he'll come so hard and be so intent on getting there, he'll run right past the football. As he comes in, it's like, I got it, whoop. The lineman got just a piece of Junior enough to get him. Great hustle to get back up and get back in on the play. But sometimes with Junior's aggression and his speed, he uses it so much, and sometimes teams can use it against him.
Third down and 5 from the Charger 48-yard line. Here comes a blitz. Sayal. Manning steps up, firing on the run. Curtis Small with the catch. That's a great catch and a better throw.
Peyton Manning did a great job of keeping his eyes down the field. The pocket collapsed around him. He just stepped up, made sure he kept his composure, and found Torrance Small right down the middle of the field. Great catch by Torrance Small, who had dropped a pass earlier. Peyton Manning goes right back to him. Great catch, turning his body. That's a difficult catch for a receiver, going right down the middle of the football field.
And Tony Mandridge, great block on a blitzing Junior Seau on that right side. First down and 10 from the 21-yard line. Falk again dances through the hole and gets inside the 20 at the 19. Now tomorrow, when Doug's wife gets a handsome, rich new boss, can he stop from becoming a jealous mess? Kevin James stars with Jerry Stiller in the new hit comedy The King of Queens right after Cosby tomorrow at 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS. 23 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Second down and 8 from the 19 for the Colts. Falk, and he's met in the backfield. This time it's William Fuller.
Crowd not happy about that running play. They want to see Peyton Manning throw the football around, try and get in the end zone, and they don't think Marshall Faulk's going to do it on the handoff inside.
And that's the end of the third quarter of play with the score. Colts lead the Chargers 11-6. We'll return to the RCA Dome after this message and a word from your local station. All the scoring done in the first quarter of play. 11-6 our score, and Indianapolis driving once again. Third down and 12. Manning far side, and it's broken up. Good defense at the last moment. That's Terrence Shaw, the fourth-year man out of Stephen F. Austin, with the breakup.
Terrence Shaw is one of those cornerbacks that when he gets an opportunity, you can put a guy out on him, and the Chargers have every intention that guy won't catch a pass. Terrence Shaw, great athlete. You see there, that's great technique. A little hand fighting on the way down the field, but that's exactly what you want out of a cornerback in man coverage. Just bat the ball away and prevent the reception.
Brings on Mike Vanderjagt to attempt a 40-yarder. Ardaki is holder. And he's right. 14:52 to go in the fourth quarter of play. Vanderjagt misses. Score remains 11-6. Jim Mora gritting his teeth on the sidelines. His team leading at 11-6. Mike Vanderjagt missed his first field goal of the season.
The first of his career, actually.
First of his career. He came over from the Canadian Football League, where he won a Grey Cup with the Toronto Argonauts. He was 8 of 8, and the rookie record was 9 of 9 by Raul Alegre. But he missed that 40-yarder.
That may become absolutely crucial here in the fourth quarter, as they're only up by 5 points.
Play action for Leaf. Ryan Leaf in trouble, and he goes down. Ryan Leaf tackled by Tony McCoy, the 7th-year man out of Florida. He had a sack last week as well.
This Colts defense, they really feel like they get good play from Tony McCoy and Ellis Johnson, the two inside guys. See, Tony McCoy runs around him, almost gets him the first time, and then once you get your arms around the quarterback in the pocket, he's very, very vulnerable.
But a flag on the play, and it's a holding call.
This Colt defense has had trouble this year getting pressure on the quarterback. And now when they finally do get a sack, it looks as though it may be nullified by a penalty.
Holding, number 38 defense. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's Tyrone Poole, the right corner.
Coming off the football, and they always call this because they feel like this may be the reason that Ryan Leaf couldn't throw the football, and that is incidental contact to me. Their feet got tangled. It's good. Brian still might have been fishing for a call there, and he came up with a catch.
First down from the 36. Far side, and a nice catch, and they say it, well, they call it off. The official was getting ready to say he caught it, but he dropped it. Ryan still had to stretch out for that football.
Knocked loose by Tyrone Poole. A little revenge there. He comes and starts to come down with it, and Tyrone Poole knocks it, makes sure that he doesn't pull it in. The ball bounces off into the sidelines there. A little revenge for the penalty on the previous play.
So Bryant still lines up wide on the far side. Charlie Jones, the wide receiver on the near side. Now the crowd starting to mock Ryan Leaf. And Natron Means gets up to the 40-yard line. Let's go to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, Gus, check it out. Testaverde and the Jets spread it out at the 5. They give it to Curtis Martin up the middle. Touchdown, and the Jets lead 17-3 in the final minute of the third quarter. Let's go back to you.
All right, Jim, speaking of running, Natron Means 23 carries, 103 yards here. Under 14 to play. Third down and 6 for the Chargers. And Leaf is sacked. Bertrand Berry came out of nowhere and dropped Ryan Leaf.
That's a great play because they got pressure on Ryan Leaf with only 4 guys rushing. A 4-down lineman gun. They've had problems with that all year. Bertrand Berry comes right off the corner. You see he'll come from right up here. I'm sorry, it's right here, 57. There you go. He's coming right here. He comes right off Vaughn Parker. Gets Ryan Still. They have had problems with getting pressure on the quarterback with just 4 rushes. In that instance, that's a huge boost for their defense, ending the drive.
Tyrone Poole at the 27, turning it to the outside, flags on the play, and Poole gets up to the 37-yard line, where he's stopped by Michael Hamilton. But there is a flag.
James Burgess got hit in the back right at the point of attack on the return, and the referees saw it.
And it's against the Colts. 13-18 to go in the fourth quarter. 11-6 Indianapolis. The Circle City, Indianapolis, Indiana, where the home team leads it 11-6. Gus Johnson along with Steve Tasker. The Colts, they've been here before. Last week, they were leading New Orleans, and they couldn't hold on.
And that's a sign of a rebuilding team. They've got to keep that lead. They led with less than 2 minutes to go by a touchdown and lost in overtime. This is a game that they're in a position now to close the door and win. If they can do that, Jim Moore will help. They'll feel like they're taking the right steps and it'll vindicate the plan that they're going on.
Marshall Faulk running the football on his own 23 and gets up over the 25-yard line. Up to the 27. John Perella with the tackle.
So much isn't made of these 2 guys that they picked, Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning. Well, the reason they picked those guys was they had the first 2 picks of the draft, and there are reasons for that. The Colts struggled last year, and really what they're looking for this year is a chance to improve every week. They want to get their guys playing as a team and improving every week. If they can do that, they feel like they're going to get some support gaining here in Indianapolis.
Here's Manning near side, and it's incomplete. Payton, the intended receiver. And a flag has been thrown. And a holding call again, this time against San Diego. So a holding penalty. Kevin Gilbride frustrated on the sidelines, even though he's not showing emotion. 9th penalty, 70 yards against San Diego.
You see Jimmy Spencer there grabbing Torrance Small, and that's where the penalty came from. It's a pretty obvious call. Starting to be a problem now with both teams. Penalties starting to hamstring both squads. They try and move the football for a score.
Play action for Manning. Far side, and it's on target. Marvin Harrison with the catch and a flag. Terrence Shaw throws him out of bounds, and that's going to cost the Chargers.
A little extra toss out of bounds after the catch was made. Marvin Harrison was already out of bounds, and Torrance Small gave him the extra push out of bounds. You saw it earlier in the game when they were hand fighting on the running play, making sure that each guy wanted to get the last touch in. And here's the result of that. Marvin Harrison makes the great pass route right on the sidelines. He's out of bounds right here, and Torrance Small flings him to the ground. Even if it does happen on your own bench, that is a penalty.
Well out of bounds.
Well out of bounds. That's right. Tom Moore had told us, the offensive coordinator of the Colts, that Marvin Harrison is one guy they want to get the football to more. We haven't seen too much of it today, but they have been attempting to get the football in his hands.
So add 15 yards to it. First down and 10 from the 39 outside. Falk with the lane. Marshall Falk inside the 20, and Falk out of bounds at the 15. A 22-yard pickup and another flag on the play. And this time it's against Indianapolis. That look says it all for Jim Mora.
Those penalties are the ones that just kill you. Invariably, they call these on a play that busts big. Watch just inside the tight end. I think that Tony Mandridge working.
Make it Tarek Glenn.
Right here, Tarek Glenn. As he works on Junior Seau, number 55, he'll come out right there in front of you as Junior Seau tries to spin out of the block. They call that as a hold, and that allowed Marshall Falk to get to the corner.
First down for the Colts from the 49. They need 20. Manning downfield, and it's incomplete. Another flag on the play. Peyton, the intended receiver, covered by Charles Demery.
I think this is going to be on Peyton. As he got separation from that receiver, he pushed off of Charles Demery to get separation, and the referee saw it. That's going to be offensive pass interference, and the crowd doesn't like it.
Number 80, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, they're going to get a lot of first downs anyway.
Wow. Once again, we'd like to apologize for the audio difficulties they're experiencing with the referee's microphone. And look at the penalties. 10, 85 yards for the Chargers, 7, 57 yards for the Colts.
It is now 1st and 30.
Looks that way.
Wow.
From the 40-yard line, the Colts. Manning quickly to Falk. Marshall Falk in the open field. And Falk inside the 45 to the 44. There he's tackled by Rodney Harrison, and it's a gain of 16.
Marshall Falk just standing in the background, lets the pocket form around him, slips up ahead of it, just a short little screen pass. You'll see him here. He just turns around and says, okay, give it to me, let me pick my spot. And that's just Marshall Falk going down the field and broken field run. And that's a great 16-yard gain on 1st and 30.
4 receptions, 44 yards for Falk, also a touchdown. 2nd down and 15. Falk running this time to the short side, finds a hole and gets inside the 40 to the 39.
There's no penalty on that play.
Norman Hand with the tackle along with Charles Demery.
And you see now they had 1st and 30, and now they've got 3rd and 10. They've actually had 2 pretty productive plays, and they're still in 3rd and long. And those penalties, one after the other, not only does it put you in a bad spot with your down and distance, emotionally and really confidence-wise, your offense really feels like they're digging out of a hole. And there's offensive coordinator Tom Moore, who acknowledges that his team just isn't good enough yet to overcome their own mistakes. They've got to play more mistake-free, and then they'll start to see the kind of success they need.
3rd down and 11. Manning firing, and it's incomplete. Torrance Small got a hand on it, but couldn't bring it in. And the Colts have to punt.
penalties killed that entire series for both teams. San Diego now struggling with them. The Colts now struggling with them. In San Diego's part, you have guys injured who are filling in. Maybe they're not used to the cadence. In Indianapolis' case, it's been a problem for them all year.
Gardocki from the 45. High spiraling kick. And it takes a bounce and gets into the end zone. So San Diego will have the football on the 20-yard line. 9:53 to go in the fourth quarter. Aaron Taylor on the sidelines in street clothes. He's the starting left guard for the Chargers. Has a knee injury. Terrell Fletcher also out. The third down back. First down and 10 for the Chargers from their own 20. Natron Means trying to find a hole at the line of scrimmage, and he picks up 5. The 25-yard line. Steve Morrison with tackle. And look at the injuries today for the Chargers. Fletcher, Aaron Taylor, John Jackson, his left knee. Perella, a cut above the nose.
And that's just today.
Jamal Williams.
That's just today. Terrell Fletcher's out for the game. Aaron Taylor, those are 2 starters. That's Terrell Fletcher right there in street clothes. That's Aaron Taylor there. Those guys are out. And those are crucial guys on the offense for the Chargers.
2nd and 5 from the 25. Ryan Lee, incomplete. Ball sailed high. Intended for Charlie Jones.
We just received word that John Jackson, the left tackle, is out for the game. So Raleigh Roundtree and Troy Sienkiewicz are going to have to do it on the left side for him for the rest of the way.
And Ryan Leaf also needs to put together a drive here. 9:12 to go in the fourth quarter of play. Still a lot of time. Leaf's numbers 8 of 17, 69 yards, 1 interception. And Manning 12 of 22. Third down and 5 from the 25. Leaf, far side, and he's caught. Webster Slaughter with the catch and a first down as he gets out of bounds. Slaughter, the 11-year veteran.
When you think back to the last few series, it seems like it's been 6 first half since we've seen somebody convert on a third down. The defenses have stepped it up, and I think the injuries to the Chargers and the penalties to the Colts have kept both teams from even converting on a first down here in the second half.
Look at that score. Buffalo blowing away San Francisco 23-0. First down from the 31 for the Chargers. Now Lee Barber. Near side, still breaks the tackle, and still over the 40, out of bounds at the 43, a gain of 13. Nice job by Ryan Leaf to check out of the last play.
And you'll watch the offensive line pick these guys up. They're starting to come with extra pressure. You'll see all these guys come in here, and the offensive line does is pick them up and pile them to the inside, making sure they don't get to Ryan Leaf, open up a throwing lane. And Brian Still just goes out. They've run this play 3 times today. It's worked every time. Whenever Jeff Burris has played off, they've just had Brian Still run a quick stop and throw the ball right out to him very quickly.
First down from the 44. And a whistle and flag.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 72, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Sienkiewicz now both guys who are in because of the injuries have had a false start. You see him right. You can't see him because Ryan Leaf is obscuring him, but you'll watch him twitch. You'll see him watch as Ryan Leaf there. You see him twitch, and that's all it takes. Both guys now trying to work their way in relief of the 2 starters that are hurt.
First and 15. Lee, fumble on the play, and it's recovered by Indianapolis. Whittington pounces on the football, the 3rd turnover of the day. That time, Natron Means stumbled and just lost it.
He never had control of this. Ryan Leaf never made sure of the handoff. Natron got this handoff and just lost it immediately. Never really had full control of it. You'll see Ryan Leaf, the ball just pops out, Whittington is standing right there waiting for it, and now the Colts are in field position that they've needed the whole game.
Get him the football. He's averaged at least 20 yards, 20 carries per game, rather, 7 straight games.
And I think a lot of teams could learn from that. I mean, their offense has not been that productive. They're 0-4. There's a lot. They may have some problems. You see offensive coordinator Tom Moore talking there to Jim Moore, but this is a team that is committed to the run, and I think a lot of teams could learn from that. Even though they're not productive, they're still giving it to their main guy.
Manning underneath, and it's incomplete. Lamont Warren had it, dropped it. He has been inactive the first 4 games because of an ankle injury. And how many times has that happened today for Manning?
And you see him watch this team play on film today, last week, 2 weeks ago. Peyton Manning is having a lot of passes that should be caught, dropped. And that's just got to add to his frustration and the frustration of their coaching staff.
So Mike Vanderjagt in to attempt a 51-yarder. He missed his last, a 40-yarder. And it's up. And good. A 51-yard field goal for Mike Vanderjagt. And that makes it a 14-6 game with 6 minutes and 14 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter.
This is a better kick than his last kick. His last kick pushed right. You know, these guys go over and they talk about what happened. This is a long kick. A 51-yarder is a long kick in the NFL. He had plenty of leg, and that was right down the pipe. That's a good kicker getting right back on track after getting figuratively bucked off in his last kick.
Had a 52-yarder last week against New Orleans. Also added a 19-yard field goal. It's 2 of 2. So it's 14-6. Colts in front of the Chargers. Get ready for an episode of new challenges, new life, and new hope. An hour of TV that should not be missed. Chicago Hope, an all-new episode Wednesday on CBS.
That last field goal that Vanderjagt did miss, that would have put them at a 17-6 advantage over the Chargers, and that is even though it's only 3 points, the margin is now 8, and that is a huge difference in the NFL.
Gardocki kicking it away, and Stevens fouls down in the end zone.
Now it happens that the Chargers can score a touchdown and return the 2-point conversion that they gave up earlier and be tied now.
But that's the most alarming statistic for the Chargers. They've given up 14 points off the 3 turnovers. Ryan Leaf back onto the field. He's thrown an interception. They fumbled it twice.
And this is where a young quarterback can really prove himself. This is a tough spot for a quarterback to be in. 6 minutes to go on your own 20, trailing by a touchdown. This is when a quarterback earns the money that they pay them.
Natron Means running the ball, breaks through. Means over the 25 up to the 26-yard line. Bertrand Berry with the stop. And the clock continues to run, 5:54 and counting.
San Diego with still plenty of time. Keep handing it to Natron Means. He's been a workhorse all afternoon. As long as they can keep the ball in their possession and keep giving it to him, they've got a chance. They are not out of this football game. 1 touchdown. This is a close football game and has been the entire way.
Gain 7, 2nd down and 3. Means again. And Means, he needs to get to the 30-yard line for a 1st down, and will be a half-yard short. Robert Blackman, the safety, with the tackle. Natron Means, 27 carries, 115 yards on the day.
And this is a time when a run game really can take over a football game.
They have the ball at the 29, and they have a long way to go.
Even here at this late spot in the game, they still need to keep giving it to Natron to take the pressure off of Ryan Leaf, because sooner or later they may have to throw it, and they want the defense to play honest.
3rd down and 1. Means again, and lowers his shoulder and gets the 1st down. Boy, that's some power running. Natron Means just honking it on up in there.
Yeah, this is a technical game. There's a lot of X's and O's you can draw, but this is just a big back needing 1 yard and just saying, I'm going to get it. He just puts his head down, gets hit once, slides off, and just reaches over the 30-yard line. He knows exactly where he has to go, and that's a guy going out and getting it.
First down from the 31. Blackman steps up, blitzes, picked up, leaps out of the pocket, and leaps. Throws down hard at the 30. Blackman and Elijah Alexander. What a game by Alexander.
Elijah Alexander's been all over the field for the Colts defense. You see him right there as he just spies on Natron Means. He's watching him. Natron Means helps the tackle in pass protection and then steps up, and as Ryan Leaf breaks contain, just closes and makes the tackle.
Alexander, third year with the Colts, out of Kansas State, 7th year in the NFL. And so far, Ryan Leaf on the day. Here's the draw play. Means breaks the tackle and gets outside. Means close to the first down. That's all Natron Means on that play.
Larry Chester had Natron Means in the backfield, and Natron treated him like a cheap coat and just shrugged him off and got to the outside. The defense thought Natron was caught in the backfield, and they kind of stood up and looked around, only to find Natron going down the sidelines. You'll see right here in the middle, Natron just says, get off. And then the defense is caught in the traffic. Natron gets outside, almost gets the first down.
Tremaine Stevens in the game. He's the deep back. Means takes the blow on the sidelines. 3rd down and 1. And a timeout. Called by Indianapolis, and we stay right here. 14-6, 3 minutes to go. Remember, Indianapolis, they were in the same situation last week against New Orleans and ended up losing the football game with less than 2 minutes to go.
Identical situation, only they have a little more time on the clock, 3 minutes as opposed to 2 minutes. New Orleans last week was able to get the entire length of the field to win the football game, or to go into overtime and then to win the football game.
Now tonight on 60 Minutes, why is Mike Wallace so interested in a woman's curves? Because she's the first woman to pitch for a professional baseball team, and she's on 60 Minutes tonight, followed by Touched by an Angel and the CBS Sunday movie about Sarah, starring Kelly Martin and Mary Steenburgen. Mike Wallace, boy, he's been getting into stuff for years. Ryan Leaf trying to get his team out of a hole right now. 3rd down and 1. Means back into the game. He's the deep back. They give it to Natron. Means second effort, and he gets the first down.
9 guys on the defensive front for the Colts, and Natron can still get the first down. That is, watch the offensive line just push and get penetration. The defense is walled off to the inside. Natron picks his way, follows Wendell Davis right up through the hole, number 81 there, and just slides off for the first down.
So 1st down and 10 from the 43. Means on the sidelines. Ryan Leaf passing. Leaf down the seam, and he got it! Charlie Jones down at the 1. What a play! Ryan Leaf put it on the money. A gain of 56.
You can say what you want to about a quarterback and how much he struggled. That ball was world class. He throws this on a rope with the pocket coming down around him, and that ball drops in. That is a huge throw. Charlie Jones running down the middle of the field, comes through on the seam route, and Robert Blackman saves the touchdown.
It's the same thing that happened last week against this Colts team. 2-minute warning, back in a moment.
Tyrone Poole put in a bad spot up here as the receivers come out and cross. The defenders have to switch. He has too much ground to cover in this area, and Ryan Leaf throws the football right on the money to Charlie Jones. Well-designed play, executed perfectly. Robert Blackman has to save the touchdown.
1st down, goal to go. From the 1. Means the deep back. Natron Means. And he's short. Clock continues to run, 1:50 and counting. Touchdown! They call it a touchdown. A delayed reaction by the officials. So a touchdown by Natron Means.
And here comes the two-point conversion. Watch Natron. This is just an off-tackle play off the left side where they've had it. And Raleigh McKenzie gets out in front along with Frank Hartley, I'm sorry. And he holds the ball and extends into the end zone. And it took a little discussion for them to decide to give that to him.
So, two-point conversion, what do you run down here?
Well, you've only got about 3 places you can run. You practice them, they are designed two-point conversions. Look for them to spread the field and maybe give it to Natron right up the middle.
Ryan Lee under center. Here comes the blitz. They're throwing. Leap in the end zone. Incomplete. Nobody there. No flags on the play.
And that's the biggest defensive play for the Colts all day. In fact, all season. Now, the Indianapolis Colts will put what they call their hands team on the football field. Kevin Gilbride can't be happy with that. Now they're going to be forced to onside kick to the Colts. Webster Slaughter thought he was pushed in the back corner of the end zone by Tyrone Poole. You'll see that ball was thrown towards the flat corner. And watch, Slaughter goes right to the referee and asks, what is going on? There should have been a flag. You'll see here, Natron Means with the protection. And watch Kevin Gilbride. He knows it. Not a big reaction. Still in this ball game, never know any give up. Both these head coaches are very, very cool customers. Jim Moore knows, though, how big a play that was. You know he does.
You just got to feel that they are churning inside the timeout situations. San Diego still with 3. The Colts with 2. And what happens here?
They're going to onside this kick. There's no question about it. They have to. With 1:48 to go, even though the Chargers have 3 timeouts, that is not going to leave them enough time not to have, they have to leave enough time on the clock to get the football back. And here it comes. This is a train wreck right about ready to happen.
Carney. And it's caught. Gilder with the great hand. West forward, gets to the 25. Ken Gilder, 4th year out of Illinois. He's a tight end. And the Colts are a minute and 45 seconds away from their first win of the season.
Whenever you feel an onside kick, there can't be any contact before the ball goes 10 yards or until the receiving team catches it right up into his stomach. That's a great bounce for him. And he was going for 6.
And he returned it 14 yards.
You see Steve Morris, number 52, jump on his back, making sure that nobody comes in and rips that ball out.
The timeout situation, 3 for San Diego, 2 for the Colts. Falk running the football, and Marshall Falk gets to the 20.
All they need is 1 first down, and this football game is over. Kevin Gilbride desperately calling for a timeout, trying to stop the clock, and they haven't done it yet. Finally they do.
So they wasted 10 seconds. The clock ticks to 1:28.
That the defensive captain, or that they should have been told that immediately. As soon as there's a dead play, they've got to call timeout. They wasted 10 seconds at least waiting for someone to look over and see Kevin Gilbride giving them a signal. That 5-yard gain on first down is huge at this point. Well within field goal range to put the game away.
Ball is at the 21. They need to get to the 16 for a first down. Second down and 6. Small. Ball, and he's met in the backfield and dropped at the 25. And a quick timeout by the Chargers. Govea Now, coming up on the NFL Today postgame show, Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and George Seifert will have all the scores and highlights and the latest NFL news.
It's 3rd and 10, and there is no way that the Indianapolis Colts are going to throw this ball up. They're well within field goal range. A field goal would put them up by 5, forcing the Chargers to go the length of the field for a touchdown with, at that point, probably less than a minute to go.
That man, Mike Vanderjagt, a rookie, but he has a lot of experience, played in the Canadian Football League, and he's gotten off to a great start this season. He has to come in and kick a field goal. 3rd down and 10 from the 25 for the Colts. Falk, the deep back. Here's Marshall Falk looking for the 1st down. Falk stays in bounds, and the Chargers use their last timeout. So with 1:15 to go, Indianapolis leading 14-12, and Mike Vanderjagt comes back onto the field. The rookie who played collegiately at West Virginia, but a number of years in the CFL. And he hit a 48-yarder today, missed a 40-yarder, then came back and hit a 51-yarder.
This will be a 40-yarder for him, and this is, you want to talk about being crucial and under pressure. This is as pressure-packed as any kick, because if he misses it, San Diego gets the ball immediately at the 30-yard line with a chance to go the distance.
And it looks like he's welcoming this pressure, a big smile on his face.
A little chit-chat with the referee there as he takes his mark.
9 of 10 on the season, a 40-yard field goal. Kick is up, and it's good. Flag on the play. Chargers may have jumped off sides.
It's not going to be enough for the 1st down. Do you take the points off the board? I don't think so. The play may have been blown dead before the kick. They're going to decline it. Yep. Take the points and kick off. Is the plan that Jim
Offsides on the defense. Left defensive end. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, field goal is good.
So 1:14 remaining in the 4th quarter. San Diego will get the ball one more time, down 17-12 and out of timeouts.
I'll tell you what, as a guy that used to cover kicks in the National Football League, you never feel more pressure than a kick at this. You've got the game won. All you have to do is keep them from going the distance. Rarely is there that much pressure on a kickoff team, especially when they've given up long returns on punts.
Don't forget, next Sunday beginning at noon, the NFL on CBS has a big lineup of doubleheader games. In the big early game, the Chiefs expect the return of Elvis Gerbach and Andre Rison when they take on Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots. And later, 2 Old Warriors with 20 left in the tank collide Elway and the Broncos against Moon and the Seahawks. Check your local listings. It all gets started with Jim, George, Marcus, and Brent. Next Sunday, the NFL Today on CBS. So Chris Gardocki kicking it away. From the 6, Materio Rashad over the 20, up to the 24. With 1:08 to go, a return to 16, Ryan Leaf back in the game. 11 of 20, 144 yards, and a big challenge in front of him. He needs to go a long way for a score.
And, you know, you think about it, he has played better in the last 2 series he's been out there. But hit the long play last series to set up the touchdown to Charlie Jones. Now he's got to feel a little better about his opportunity to go out there and make something happen, but he's going to need help up front to do that.
Charlie Jones lines up wide to the far side. Stills to the near side. Slaughter in the slot. Out of the shotgun. Lee, far side, incomplete. Intended for Charlie Jones. Tim Houck covering defensively. Remember, they're out of timeouts.
Even had Charlie Jones been able to close on that football and make that catch, he had been pushed out of bounds by Tyrone Poole, which is a trick that defensive backs will use, especially when they get in 4 wides. When they spread the defense out, the wideouts line up a little bit closer to the sidelines. The defensive back will push the guy out of bounds, negating his ability to catch a ball.
4 receivers in for the Chargers. Lee steps up in trouble. Ryan Lee throws down. Tony McCall, second sack of the day. And the clock starts again. 4th sack of the day for the Colts defense. 3rd down. Lee, far side, incomplete. He skipped it to Charlie Jones. And now the Chargers have one more play.
This is the play, the short hop. Ryan Leaf couldn't step into the throw. Came up about a foot short of Jones trying to make that catch on the sidelines and stop the clock. They're down to their last gasp.
4th down
15.
and 15. Biggest play of the game so far. Here we go. Flags on the play.
Raleigh McKenzie might have twitched to the right guard for the Chargers.
Last week,
Prior to the snap, number 6, offense, 5-yard penalty.
so 4th down again. Last week, Indianapolis had New Orleans pinned. 4th down and 17. And the Saints connected for a 44-yard gain.
Don't think that that's not passing through the mind of Jim Moore right about now.
So now it's 4th down and 20. Fans on their feet here in Indy. Lee dances out of the pocket. Underneath, Freddie Jones. No 1st down, and that will be your ball game. The Indianapolis Colts 0-4 coming into this game. Forced 3 big turnovers, scored 14 points off the 3 turnovers. That's the difference. And they will take a knee. Peyton Manning, a dejected Ryan Leaf on one side, but a jubilant Colts squad on the other side. And that'll do it. The first meeting between the 2-star rookie quarterbacks, Manning and Leaf, goes to Peyton Manning. 17-12, the final score. Colts now 1-4 on the season, and the Chargers fall to 2-3.
This game was really won in the turnover battle. And not only turnovers, the points they got off the turnovers, and that was really the difference.
Don't forget, up next, it's the NFL Today post-game show from New York. So for Steve Tasker, this is Gus Johnson. saying so long from the RCA Dome, where our final score, the Indianapolis Colts defeat the Chargers for their first win of the season, 17-12. Coming up after the commercial,